everybody, this is Rendani from Chronicles of Redemption. We are here at HOEK Hotel for the R4 Medical Conference, and joined here we have Enoch, who has been here from Friday. So Enoch, welcome.
Thank you very much, my elder. Thank you very much for having me. It is indeed a pleasure to be here with you.
I was actually quite excited that I saw you on Friday here, and I'm like, yeah, fellow soldier is here.
No, thank you very much, my elder. It has been a blessing to be here, and I thank God that I had an opportunity to come and be blessed here with you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, it was indeed a blessing. So, Brother Enoch, tell us, what did you learn from this medical missionary arranged by R4?
Okay. We have been blessed, as you said, that I've been here since Friday. We have learned a lot of stuff. I have been challenged, I have been taught, I have also been elevated. The mindset that we have as health professionals. I had the privilege of studying health to a certain extent, and it has been a privilege for me to really sit down at the feet of Christ and learn from the master teacher himself. Because most of the time we're exposed from health, from the education point of view, where we go to varsities, where we go to schools, medical schools, where we are trained, but we never actually thought of health coming from God himself. We never thought of God as being the teacher, or may I say the first physician, the first doctor himself. So there's a lot of things that we've learned. A few of the things that I've learned are health cannot be accomplished without God in the equation. So if you separate God in the equation, you cannot obtain optimum health. Unless if you want to have another health that we do not know. But wholesome, optimal health cannot be achieved without God in the equation. Most of the time, we as individuals and as people, as patients out there, we sometimes looking for quick fixes. But also one of the lessons that I've learned is you cannot get a quick fix that will last you long. If you want a long-lasting health, if you want to reap the benefits thereof, you need to start with God and continue with God. Let God be your guide, your teacher, your mentor. Let God be your doctor. I say this not to, I say this with respect to the doctors, I say this with respect to the medical fraternity, but this is the honest truth. Doctors work hand in hand with God. If a doctor lets loose of the hand of God, the patients will not reap as much as they will reap if he is working in accordance with God. And one of the things also that I've learned is you cannot separate a human being. A human being is both physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Amen.
If you want to help someone who's diseased or who's sick, you need to minister to both, or to all these three categories: mentally, physically, and as well as spiritually. Because if you leave one aspect, the whole being cannot be connected. Yes, it collapses. Yes, and if you think in Scripture also, there are a few instances that actually I was thinking about this morning. We found in the book of John where we are told of a man laying in the pool of pool with 5 porches.
Yes, from people of Bethesda.
Yes, from the people of Bethesda.
Yes, yes.
And there we are. I was interested in the question that Christ asked this sick man. The sick man has been sitting down there for 38 years. Allow me to say maybe he has tried to go to doctors. He has tried all sorts of doctors, and I'm sure his finances were even exhausted. But Christ comes in and he says to him, do you want to be made whole? Check, he's not saying, do you want your legs to work so that you can stand up and walk? He's not saying, do you want your heart if you've had problems, or your diabetes if you have diabetes problem? But he's talking about wholeness, which is what we are looking for. Wholeness is health. Without health, there's no wholeness. So it is very important that we need to, or may I say the medical fraternity, needs to sit back and really think, what are we doing? Looking at what we are faced today with a rise in chronic diseases, a rise in infectious diseases, what are we doing? Because the question has been asked. So many doctors graduating today, so much we know about people, or even about the human physique itself, but still we still get diseases, infections that we cannot, or the doctors cannot actually control. The question is, maybe we have missed something somewhere. Maybe we have subtracted a very powerful element that we're supposed to have gotten it from the word God. And I believe that is God. If we include God in our practices, whether you are a doctor, a nurse, and allied health professional, whatever you do is important. And lastly, without being long, power of prayer.
Prayer.
Doctors have God on their hand, and they need to trust in God. Not to say that they need to trust on their academic abilities or their skills, but God is the one who gives the skills, and God is the one who will bless their way. Praying with your patients as they come to your consultation room, you need to pray with them. And we have had this weekend of powerful testimonies from medical doctors, from nurses, how praying with people actually help them to heal even quicker, even the length of hospital stay being reduced to a minimum number of days. So prayer is very important, and prayer is what ministers to the soul, and that rejuvenates and brings life where there's death. So these are some of the things that I've learned, and I pray that I so wish that most of the health professionals are here. But I also pray that we may have such conferences more to come, where we are enlightened, challenged as healthcare workers, so that we can go back with a different mindset to serve the community. Because there's no use of serving a community, but we do not have even success stories in the community. Because we're forgetting the main ingredient, God and God alone.
Wow, that's very powerful, Brother Enoch. No, the one powerful element that you're touching on here is that we have divorced God from our medical practice. And that is why we are failing to reverse most chronic diseases. In fact, I believe, from what I've learned on my side, is that the solution is not a pill. The solution is not an appeal, but the solution is going back to the fundamental of what God has designed, what God has given man from the beginning to reverse all these diseases. Another interesting thing that struck me, which I thought, yeah, this is going to take great sacrifice, was when Dr. Partington said normal sleeping hours, or what the time that we should sleep is 9 o'clock, that is 2100.
2100, yeah.
And I thought about all the hassles that I do during the day and how much I have to still push further during the night to still work. So in your opinion, do you think that is possible, or do you think that is a rational approach to restoring the body or to wholeness? Because I'll be honest with you, if you tell that, for instance, to university students,
yes,
and say that by 2100 they should be in bed, they're going to think you're mad. So do you think that is a possible, achievable goal, or do you think we are taking it to the extreme, or we are becoming what people normally say, fanatics?
That is a very good question, Daniel. And truth be told, we are living in a very busy world. We have school, we have work, we have other commitments that are actually taking much of our time. And then when you get home, you still have to prepare a meal, and after a meal, you still have to sit with family, chat with family, see how the kids are doing, how the day was, and minister unto them. Because if you forget or neglect that part, you'll also be having a great challenge on your hand, and you'll be doing injustice. But with that being said, it is very important, and it is very true what was presented to us, a very great challenge. It is scientifically proven that we need to sleep. As we work throughout the day, we are getting tired, we are breaking down this machinery. Therefore, when we sleep, the regeneration process starts or begins, where we are fit tomorrow to meet another day. So the 2100 advice, which is very challenging to all of us, but I believe it is something that we can strive for. If we sleep earlier, that means that we have an opportunity to wake up earlier.
Yes.
And that also gives us an opportunity to do many other things.
Yes,
because if you wake up earlier, you are able to do some of the things that you couldn't do if you wake up a little bit late. So maybe this is a challenge that each and every individual should focus on. From the mechanical workers, people working in the mines, constructions, and from book workers, people who are working with books, or students, or lawyers, or even medical doctors themselves. We need to strive for this. And then, as you can see that when you go back even into the Bible, God says in the Bible that we need to test in some time to see the power thereof. I think as we get these principles, we need to go back and say, God, this is a principle you have given me. Help me to implement this in my life. My life is busy. I have all these things, and I'm sure you're aware that my life is busy. But if it is God's will that we do this, and which is His will that we become of good health, He will enable us. He will guide us and He will give us strength to overcome those challenges that we are facing, and give us strength to do those things that need to be done on time. Make sure that we have good time management, so that at 9 we are able to rest. And I believe it's doable. Yes, we are failing, but it's not impossible. We can do all things through Christ.
Through Christ.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's so that we need God to intervene upon, because it's a complete change of habit, which is something that's difficult and impossible to man. Well, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, that was Brother Enoch here at HOEK Hotel for the R4 Medical Conference. This is Rendani from Chronicles of Redemption. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Chronicles of Redemption. We are reworking this ministry, and we are hoping that we get a lot of following so that we can deliver more content. There is a lot to be shared, and I hope that you enjoy this, and I hope that you can also support by subscribing. Thank you very much. Keep well.